Hey, Anna Banana. Say hi to Anna. Smile. Come on. We're talking to a kid. Anna, we got another book for you. It's called Frog and Toad Together. You know, when Tony was little, we call him Toad. So he can be Toad, you can be Frog, yeah? All right, so Frog and Toad Together. Who is that by? Who wrote it, Tony?
Arnold Lobel.
Arnold Lobel. He made the movie. So that's Frog and Toad. I'm not sure which one is which, but here we go. We are at Rich and Jen's house. Your daddy used to come here when he was little and hang out with the horses and stuff. So here's the front page. Frog and Toad together. And they're sitting by the fireplace drinking. What do they drink, you think?
Tea.
Tea or hot chocolate or something, huh? This must be a cold place. Contents. Contents mean what's inside of this book. What does it say, Tony?
A list.
What else? The next one?
The garden.
And then?
Cookies.
Cookies. And then?
Dragon and giants. And last one, the dream.
The dream. All right. So here's Frog and Toad flying a kite. They must be friends or brothers or sisters or something. All right. I'm going to read this first page and then Uncle Tony's going to help me. This one, it says a list. One morning, Toad sat in bed. There's Toad. He just woke up. I have many things to do, he said. I will write them all down on a list so that I can remember them. I do that too. I wake up and I write a list of things to do. Do you do that, Tony?
No.
No? Maybe you should, huh? Sometimes. Sometimes when you have a lot of things to do, it helps to write a list. Toad wrote on a piece of paper a list of things to do today. That's what he wrote. Then he wrote, wake up. I have done that, said Toad. And he crossed out, wake up. There it is. That's what you do when you have a list. You write all the things you want to do. And then when you do it, you cross it off. All right. So here's the next page. Uncle P's going to read this part.
Then Toad wrote other things on the paper. A list of things to do today. Wake up when it's done, eat breakfast, get dressed, go to Frog's house, take a walk with Frog, eat lunch, take nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, go to sleep.
Oh, and then what else?
There, said Toad. Now my day is all written down. He got out of bed and had something to eat. Then Toad crossed out eat breakfast.
There you go. He's eating breakfast and he crossed out ate breakfast or eat breakfast crossed out. So there he is. He's looking at his list and that's his breakfast. It looks like he has maybe some cereal and tea or something, yeah? What didn't he write down? I don't see brush teeth. You have to brush your teeth when you wake up. So your list, Anna's list must have brush teeth on it, okay? And then what did he do? So let's go to the next page. It says, Toad took his clothes out of the closet and put them on. Then he crossed out, get dressed. Toad put the list in his pocket. There he is. He crossed out the list and he put it in his pocket. It looks like he opened the door and head out the door. Where is he going, you think? Where is he going?
Out the door.
He's going to go see
Mr. Frog.
Yeah, his friend Frog. He opened the door and walked out into the morning. Soon, Toad was at Frog's front door. He took the list from his pocket and crossed out, go to Frog's house. All right, so there he is. He did 3 things on his list so far. All right, and Uncle T's going to read this part. Oh, that's Frog. Frog is much bigger than Toad. All right, so what does it say?
Toad knocked at the door. Hello, said Frog. Look at my list of things to do, said Toad. Oh, said Frog, that is very nice. Toad said, my list tells me that we will go for a walk. All right, said Frog, I am ready.
All right, they're ready for their adventure for the day, Toad and Frog. So that's Toad, who's little. That's Frog, who's big. But since Uncle Tony was Toad before, he'll stay Toad and Anna can be Frog, yeah? So when you are together, you can be Toad and Frog, just like the book. Okay, so next page is my turn. I'm going to read this part. See, there's a picture of Toad and Frog. They look like what are they doing? Going for a little hike, huh?
Going for a walk, and their list of things got blown.
Oh no! Okay. Frog and Toad went on a long walk. Then Toad took the list from his pocket again. He crossed out, "Take walk with Frog." Just then there was a strong wind. It blew the list out of Toad's hand. Oh no! What's going to happen? The list blew high up into the air. "Help!" cried Toad. "My list is blowing away. What will I do without my list?" What will you do without? What will he do without his list? What do you think you can do without a list?
You can't do anything when you don't have your list.
You can't do it? Or what else can you do? You can make a new list, right?
Make a new list.
Yeah, you'll remember what you write down on the list, right? So you can make a new list. Or you can see if you can remember. All right, so this is Tony's turn to read.
Hurry, said Frog. We will run and catch it. No, shouted Toad. I cannot do that. Why not? Asked Frog. Because, well, Frog, running after my list is not one of the things that I wrote on my list of things to do.
Oh no, now that's silly. Just because something is not on your list, does that mean you can't do it?
No.
No, it doesn't. So now Toad is being silly. Okay, what happens next?
Frog ran after the list. He ran over the hills and swamps, but the list blew on and on. At last Frog came back to Toad. I'm sorry, gasped Frog, but I could not catch your list. Blah, said Toad.
Oh, blah. But that's very nice of Frog to try and catch the list for his friend, huh? But Toad is being really silly. He should help Frog see if he can get his list back. So next page. There's the next page, and there they are sitting around. So I'm going to read it to you. It said, "I cannot remember any of the things that were on my list of things to do. I will just have to sit here and do nothing," said Toad. So they're sitting around going, da 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 da, what are we going to do now? After a long time, Frog said, "Toad, it is getting dark. We should be going to sleep now." "Go to sleep," shouted Toad. "That was the last thing on my list." He remembered, huh? He remembered what he wrote. Yay, that's good. So next page. Toad wrote on the ground with a stick, "Go to sleep." Then he crossed out, "Go to sleep." "There," said Toad. "Now my day is all crossed out." "I'm glad," said Frog. Then Frog and Toad went right to sleep, right there, out in the field. Now that's really silly. They have beds and homes and room. They should go home, right?
Yeah.
Toad is being really silly here. He doesn't have his list and he's just being obtuse. You know that word? Obtuse. What does it mean? Kind of like setting away and kind of stubborn. Okay, so here's the next one. Okay, so
My turn to read it.
okay, what does it say?
The garden. Frog was in the garden. Toad came walking by. What a fine garden you have, Frog, he said. Yes, said Frog. It was very nice, but it was hard work.
It is hard work. You have a garden, don't you, Toad? Tony.
Yeah.
Is it hard work?
Yeah, but gets boring.
It gets boring. It gets fun too, right?
Yeah.
What's fun about your garden?
Raking leaves.
Yeah, what else?
Cutting down branches.
You should tell Anna. When you come, you can help Uncle Toad with his garden. What else is fun out there? Do you like the centipedes?
The centipedes are friendly animals.
No, they're not.
Yes,
They
are.
bite. They hurt. Don't be silly. They bite. So when you see centipede, don't pick them up, okay? They will bite. Okay, so that's the next page.
Wait, I'm not finished with
Not
it.
finished? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I wish I had a garden, said Toad. Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground, said Frog, and soon you will have a garden. How soon? asked Toad. Quite soon, said Frog.
Quite soon. Anna, do you have a garden? You have a big garden outside, right? It's not a garden, it's kind of like a backyard. So anyway, so Toad's gonna plant some flowers. What's happening on the next page? Let's see. There's Toad. Toad ran home. He planted the flower seeds. Now seeds, said Toad, start growing. Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds did not start to grow. Is that silly? Is that silly? How long does it take for seeds to grow?
Months.
You think? A few days at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some seeds grow much faster than other ones. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, now seeds, start growing. Toad looked at the ground again. The seed did not start to grow. He's being silly. It's good to talk to plants, but it takes time, right, for it to grow. Okay, so next page. Oops. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, now seeds, start growing. Frog came running up the path. What is all this noise? He asked. My seeds will not grow, said Toad. You are shouting too much, said Frog. These poor seeds are afraid to grow. My seeds are afraid to grow, asked Toad. Of course, said Frog. Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow.
That's what seeds need. You say nice things to the seed. You don't yell at them, huh? And then they got scared. No, we want to say nice things. Say, hi, seeds. Good morning. You're going to have lots of sunshine and lots of water, and then they grow. It takes a little bit of time. All right, so next page. Okay, so there's Toad looking out. This is at night. He's outside, it looks like, isn't he? Oh, he's reading a book. Okay, so it says, that night, Toad looked out his window. Drat, said Toad. My seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark. Toad went out to his garden with some candles. I will read the seeds a story. That's nice, said Toad. Then they will not be afraid. Toad read a long story to his seeds. There he is. He sat by them and read them a story. That's nice, huh? Just like you. Seeds would like it if you read them a story. So, that's the next day. Then what happened, sweetie?
All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad played music for his seeds.
Very nice. He's doing all the nice things for his seeds, huh? So, okay. Then what else?
Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not start to grow. What shall I do? Cried Toad. These must be the frightened seeds in the whole world.
Aww.
Then Toad felt very tired and he fell asleep.
Oh, there he is. He's like, why is it not growing? I'm doing all these nice things for them. Guess what? They probably are growing under the ground. You can't see it for a while. It takes time, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, so now he fell asleep. My turn. Okay. So there's Frog and Toad. Toad, wake up, said Frog. Look at your garden. Look at the garden. Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming out of the ground. Look at that. They were growing. Yay. At last, shouted Toad, my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow, and now you will have a nice garden too, said Frog. Yes, said Toad, but you were right, Frog. It was very hard work. Yeah, they have to sit there and give them some time. So that's the garden. Next story. Cookies. Uh-oh, somebody's baking cookies. Do you like cookies, Hannah? I bet you do, huh? Do you like cookies, Tony? Do you know how to bake cookies? What kind of cookies do you know how to bake?
Chocolate chip and sugar.
Oh, do you know how to make them from scratch or do you just buy the dough?
Buy the dough.
Yeah, well, that's an easy way, but I can teach you how to cook cookies from scratch, okay? When you're old enough, I'll teach you and then you can teach Anna. All right, go ahead. So these are cookies. Read that page.
Toad baked some cookies. These cookies smell very good, said Toad. He ate one, and they taste even better, he said. Toad ran to Frog's house. Frog, Frog, cried Toad, taste these cookies I have made. Frog ate one of the cookies. These are the best cookies I have ever eaten, said Frog.
These are the best cookies, said Frog. All right, so let's see what happened next. Okay, so Frog and Toad, oh, they're eating the cookies. Oh, look at that. They're like cookie monsters.
They're munching and
They're
crunching.
munching and crunching and chewing. Frog and Toad ate many cookies, one after another. That's not good, Anna. You have a tummy ache if you eat too much cookies. Right?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good. And then you get fat. Cookies are not the best things for you to
They're
eat.
high in sugar.
Very much sugar, lots of carbs. So we don't want to eat too many cookies. We eat one or two, okay? That's it. And then we don't want to sit there and eat the whole bowl like they're doing. So let's see what happened to Frog and Toad. You know, Toad, said Frog with his mouth full. I think we should stop eating. That's a good idea. We will soon be sick. That's exactly right. You will soon be sick if you eat too many cookies. You are right, said Toad. Let us eat one last cookie and then we'll stop, he said. Frog and Toad ate one last cookie. There were many cookies left in the bowl. Frog, said Toad, let us eat one very last cookie and then we will stop. Frog and Toad ate one very last cookie. They cannot stop eating the cookies, huh? That's terrible. What's going to happen next, do you think?
They might have a bellyache.
I think they might have a bellyache. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's the cookie. One last cookie and more cookies. Okay, so your turn, sweetie.
We must stop eating, cried Toad as he ate another. Yes, said Frog, reaching for another cookie. We need willpower. We need willpower. What is willpower? Asked Toad. Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do, said Frog. You mean like trying not to eat all these cookies? Asked Toad. Right, said Frog.
Okay. Willpower, that's an important thing to have, huh? So usually you need willpower to stop doing something you cannot stop doing, and you know what you're doing is not good for you. So anyway, okay, so send us the next page. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see what happened here. There's a box and this Frog and Toad together. They're gonna have to talk. I'll have to read it to you. Frog put the cookies in a box. Oh, there you go. That's one way to do it. Put it in a box and put it away. There, he said. Now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can open the box, said Toad. That is true, said Frog. Frog tied some string around the box. There, he said. Now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can cut the string and open the box, said Toad. This is true, said Frog. Let's see what they're going to do next. He shouted, here, Toady, you hold it so you can see, the camera can see it. Okay. Frog took the box outside. He shouted in a loud voice, hey, birds, here are cookies. Yeah, birds like cookies. I know they do. Birds came from everywhere. They picked up all the cookies in their beaks and flew away. Look at them. They go, ooh, yum, yum, yum. I'm going to eat cookies. Now we have no more cookies to eat, said Toad sadly. Not even one. Yes, said Frog, but we have lots and lots of willpower. You may keep it all, Frog, said Toad. I'm going home now to bake a cake. Oh, they don't really have willpower, right? Because the cookies aren't there for them to eat. Willpower means if they had just put it in a box and put it away and not eat it. So that's willpower. This is not willpower. There's not even cookies. And Toad's going to go home and bake a cake. What's going to happen next, you think? They're going to eat cake and they're going to eat more cake and then they're going to get tummy ache, huh? All right, so next story on the Toad and Frog adventure.
Dragons and giants.
Ooh, dragons and giants. That sounds like fun. And the picture is, oh, that's Frog and Toad. And they have a little book that says fairy tales because dragons and giants don't really exist, right? Do they really exist? No. Okay, so go ahead, Tony.
Frog and Toad we're reading a book together. The people in this book are brave, said Toad. They fight dragons and giants, and they are never afraid. I wonder if we are brave, said Frog. Frog and Toad look into a mirror. We look brave, said Frog. Yes, but are we? Asked Toad.
I don't know. What do you think? What does brave mean?
Have courage.
Yeah.
And well.
Do you think brave means you're not afraid?
Brave means I'm not afraid. No.
No, brave means you're afraid, but you do it anyway, even when you're afraid. That's brave. If you're not afraid, then it's not a big deal to do something, right? So brave means you're afraid, but you do it anyway, even when you are afraid. So here's there they are. They're going out. I'm not sure they're outside somewhere. Oh, there's a snake here and stuff. Oh, snakes eat frogs and toads. Now that should be brave. They should be afraid of snakes because they eat them.
Sure.
Cover your mouth.
Sure.
All right. Frog and Toad went outside. We can try to climb this mountain, said. Okay, hold on to the book, Tony. We can try to climb this mountain, said Frog. That should tell us if we're brave. Frog went leaping over rocks and Toad came puffing up behind him. Does that mean they're brave? I don't know. I'm climbing mountain, is it?
Yeah.
I guess if it's a really high mountain and you're afraid of falling, that might be brave to go ahead and climb it anyway, right? Yeah, so we'll see what happens next. They came to a dark cave. A big snake came out of the cave. Look at that. You know what? Snakes eat frogs and toads. So that's kind of scary. Hello, lunch, said the snake when he saw Frog and Toad. He opened his wide mouth. That's how snakes eat, right? They go and they swallow everything. Frog and Toad jumped away. Toad was shaking. I'm not afraid, he cried. So do you think he's afraid? He's shaking. He's shaking. So he is afraid. But he said, I'm not afraid. And that's one way to not be afraid anymore sometimes. When you are afraid, you say, I'm not afraid. And then you're not afraid anymore. So then what happened next? Let's look at the next page. I see rocks falling down the mountain. Okay.
My turn to read.
Your turn to read.
They climbed higher and they heard a loud noise. Many large stones were rolling down the mountain. It's an avalanche, cried Toad.
Okay.
Frog and Toad jumped away. Frog was trembling. I'm not afraid, he shouted.
I'm not afraid. He's trembling. Is he afraid, really? He is afraid, but he said, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. So that's a really good trick. When you're really, really afraid, you can say, I'm not afraid. And sometimes that works. Sometimes then you're not afraid anymore. I do that all the time. When I'm really afraid, I said, I'm not afraid.
Oh,
Uh-oh, there's a birdie. And what do birdies do? They eat frogs. What's the matter, Chocho? You want to read too? I know. All right, so here's my turn to read. Hold on to the book. All right. They came to the top of the mountain. The shadow of a hawk fell over them. Frog and Toad jumped under a rock. The hawk flew away. So that's a hawk. You know what hawks do? They eat frogs and toads and snakes and little animals. So they should be afraid of that. We're not afraid, screamed Frog and Toad at the same time. Then they ran down the mountain very fast. There they go again. They're doing the same trick. They're afraid, but they said they're not afraid, right? They ran past the place where they saw the avalanche. An avalanche is when a lot of things come falling down the side of a mountain. It could be snow, it could be rocks or dirt. And that's avalanche. Okay? Can you say the word? Avalanche. Daddy will help you say the word. So, avalanche. Okay, they ran past the place where they saw the snake. They ran all the way to Toad's house. They're running all the way. And that's good too. When you're afraid, you run. And then when the exercise is done, then you're not afraid anymore. Okay, there you go. Oh, he went under his binky. He's going in under his blankie. Okay, so that's good too. When you're afraid sometimes, you go and get your blankie and then you feel better, okay? Okay.
Frog, I am glad to have a brave friend like you, said Toad.
Yeah.
He jumped into the bed, pulled the covers over his head. And I'm happy to know a brave person like you, Toad, said Frog. He jumped into the closet and shut the door. Toad stayed in the bed and Frog stayed in the closet. They stayed there for a long time, just feeling very brave together.
Oh, that's good. They did all kinds of things that they were afraid of, but they did it anyway. Remember, being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. That means you do it even when you are afraid. And then that's okay. And then you say, I'm not afraid. And you get home and you get your blankie. And then you feel all better. All right. The last story is called The Dream. The dream. Do you know what a dream is, Anna? It's when you sleep and you see things in your head, but it wasn't really happening, but you think it's real because you see it. So this is called The Dream, and I see, is that Frog or Toad? I can't tell.
That's Toad.
That's Toad. Toad has like a costume. Look at his hat with a feather on the top. All right, so the dream said, here, hold the book, sweetie.
Okay.
Toad was asleep and he was having a dream. He was on a stage and he was wearing a costume. There he is on a stage. Toad looked out into the dark. Frog was sitting in the theater. So there's Frog. A strange voice from far away said, presenting the greatest toad in all the world. There's Toad taking a bow. Your turn. Next page. See what's happening on this page.
Toad took a deep bow. Frog looked smaller as he shouted, Hooray for Toad! Toad will not play the piano very well, said the strange voice.
Will not play? Will now play the piano very well. Oh, you said that totally wrong. Say it again.
Toad will not play
Will
now.
not.
Toad will not play the piano very well, said the strange voice.
Okay, and then what happened in the next
Toad
page?
played the piano and he did not miss a note. Frog cried Toad, Can you play the piano like this? No, said Frog. It seemed to Toad that Frog looked even smaller.
Oh. So here's the next page. Look at him. He still have his costume and he's walking. This is called a high wire walking. It's really kind of scary. You have to be brave to be able to do that and have good skills. And over here is what? There's Frog. Frog is just sitting. Okay, hang on to the book, honey. Toad will now walk on a high wire and he will not fall down, said the voice. And he did. He walked over. Toad walked on the high wire. Frog, cried Toad, can you do tricks like this? No, peeped Frog, who looked very, very small. Look at that. The frog got smaller and smaller. Okay, so next page. Your turn.
Okay. Toad will now dance and he will be wonderful, said the voice. Frog, can you be as wonderful as this? Said Toad as he danced all over the stage. There was no answer. Toad looked out into the theater. Frog was so small that he could not be seen or heard. Frog, said Toad. Where are you? There was still no answer. Frog, what have I done? Cried Toad.
Oh, what has he done? He made his friend disappear, huh? That's sad. What happened in the next page? The voice then said, the greatest Toad will now... Shut up, screamed Toad. Frog, Frog, where have you gone? Toad was spinning in the dark. Come back, Frog, he shouted. I will be lonely. He's looking for Frog everywhere. His friend disappeared, huh? And he's going to be sad. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, next
My
page.
turn. I am right here, said Frog. Frog was standing near Toad's bed. Wake up, Toad, he said. Frog, is that really you? Said Toad. Of course it is me, said Frog. And are you your own right size? Asked Toad. Yes, I think so, said Frog. Toad looked at the sunshine coming through the window. Frog, he said, I am so glad that you came over. I always do, said Frog.
And that's the end. So, oh, there's one more page. And it said, then Frog and Toad ate a big breakfast. And after that, they spent a fine long day together. So I think Toad learned a really good lesson, huh? If you're famous and all that stuff, but you have no friends, it's no fun, right? You still want to have friends. And that's the book, Frog and Toad Together. I love you, Anna. Mwah. Blow her a kiss. What is that? That's not a kiss. Blow her a kiss. Say bye, Anna. I love
Bye.
you. Tell her you love her.
I love her.
You love her? I love you.
I
Because
love
she's
you.
going to be watching. I love you, sweetie. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Centipedes are really dangerous bugs, so don't go near them.
Yeah. Good advice. Centipede is not good to touch. So if you ever see one, don't touch it, okay? Bye, baby girl.
Shining